Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. Now it's been 5 seconds since I last recorded the last one. At the end I said let me know on my social media if you have any suggestions on how to improve my channel. I don't know why I said that. It should be like comments down below. I would much prefer comments down below. Anywho, we need a Hunter victory and a Shaman victory. Let's play Shaman, and we were playing ranked last time because we're full. And are we playing standard? Shaman, yes. We're here on Memorial Day, and nothing's getting done. There's nothing happening in the video game world. Everybody, I think Memorial Day weekend, particularly for video game reviewers, is just a great opportunity to hop on a flight and fly to E3. I think that's probably how they try to schedule it. Or maybe rest up for E3, the nightmare. I believe them when they say it would be a nightmare to cover those conventions. Just so many people around you, such a high possibility of getting sick with people coming in, flying. Change of humidity often makes people sick, so people will go to Las Vegas, for instance, and get ill. Also, flying on the plane with other people will certainly do that to you. And then you're just doing a crazy amount of walking, standing in lines, running around. If you really are a high-level video game critic, or an interviewer, you're going to interview a lot of people, you're going to see a lot of games in very strange fashions that honestly, it's all this big hype train that I'm not sure it's worth it. If I'm really gonna just put it out there, I don't see a real reason or a reason that you would, as a video game critic, think you could keep yourself like professionally interested in games when you're going to a huge convention and just being sold those games. I mean, that's all it really is. It's advertising to the people that are going to then review games and potentially maybe act as a advertiser for the companies. And it's just that hype. It's like, honestly, I think as a video game critic, you're better off. You can keep your your objectivity. That's the word I was looking for. By simply just not really looking. Of course, you do have to look a little, unfortunately, because you kind of need to know, hey, how many games are actually coming out in this year? What times are they coming out? What am I going to schedule my time on? What am I going to spend my efforts on? What looks like it's something that's interesting and what looks like it was painted in MS Paint and is not going to be visually appealing to get me any more views. And that's where it starts to creep into the money making of it. And you would prefer, as a video game critic, to just have a salary from some company that doesn't care if you get any views or not. Unfortunately, such things don't exist, or rarely exist if they do exist. Let's see. So, job's done. So yes, there are considerations that start going in there, and even I have done that. I have looked at video games that have been rated somewhat positive. There are games on Steam that look like they're just straight up text adventures, and they're rated somewhat positive, and I'm like, I can't. I just gotta mark not interested on this. I cannot cover a game that's that way. It's unfortunately it's just not visually appealing enough. This. And then do I want to play this? Not yet. I don't think so. So yeah. But to get back to E3, the only thing I like about E3 is that it forces them to announce some new stuff, or it motivates video game creators to announce some new stuff. Speaking of things that were announced a long time ago, Cyberpunk 2077 by CD Projekt Red has been a trailer was released 3 years ago, so I wouldn't put it past them if next year or the year after, so 4 or 5 years for that game to come out. Now, I can kind of see CD Projekt Red doing a Cyberpunk game instead of the Witcher series, and what The Witcher 3 was compared to The Witcher 2, and what The Witcher 2 was compared to The Witcher 1. Those are all drastic changes, so if any company can go to from a game where you were riding swords and killing monsters to shooting guns and killing robots, I think CD Projekt Red is a good chance of being successful at that, but it is still a little scary. It's still a little scary as far as just like how drastically different that is. So CD Projekt Red, in the context of saying don't expect a Witcher 4, is talking somewhat about Cyberpunk 2077. And that's okay. It looks alright. The trailer from 3 years ago looks like it has some concepts, but I doubt much if any of the game was even made when that trailer came out. This...
I can't do that.
Okay, I can't do it because I have as many of these as I can. So, this would give me +5, +5. That's enough. So do this. End the turn. So next turn play this and this. Unless they kill a bunch of these, and we should be set for a victory in the next couple of turns. Good. I don't think I'd really want a Witcher 4. I think you have to call it something else.
What?
And I think you have to have different characters. Because at the end of Witcher 3, you finish that tale. You really do. And so you have to... They have to take it somewhere else. They have to have the Witcher... The Witcher's sterile, so he shouldn't be able to have kids. So the daughter, the fake daughter, girl, maybe she could have a kid, and then you could move it a generation forward. But they're like really, really old too, so it would have to be hundreds of years forward. This.
Elements I like. Totems I love.
Job's done.
I think we're ready to win next turn with the Berserk Bloodlust. maybe aren't. We'll see. Let's see. Hex. This one. Bloodlust. Oops. Didn't realize I could do that. Who's doing the weakest amount of damage here? 3.
Well played.
Totally.
Yep, Bloodlust got us the victory. Good. Yeah. I wouldn't expect if Bloodlust, if The Witcher 4 ever did come out, whatever that really would be, I wouldn't expect that it's coming out for at least 4 or 5 years. It's alright, I just want to see CD Projekt Red do what they do. Make one giant good game. Playing Shadows of Mordor, it was really like a one mediocre game on Shadows of Mordor. And it's a good game. I mean, so mediocre is probably too low of a description. It was a good game. It was just very, very much one thing and one thing only for about like maybe 20 hours, 20 to 30 hours, and there could have been so much more. If CD Projekt Red had done Shadow of Mordor, which I kind of be really happy if they could do that. That would actually be very interesting and cool if all of a sudden WB Games said, you know what, we've got the license to make video games for Lord of the Rings. Let's just let's just license it to them, hire them out, and let them do what they can do. I think that would be pretty awesome. In fact, if WB Games got out of making video games in general and just licensed it to better video game creators with being very hands-off, that would be great. Instead, what they do is they license out to porters for the PC version, and then you get Batman Arkham Knight, which was a nice thing. And they're still trying to recover their money from that, I feel, would be the best way to say it. Because now they're trying to sell you this remastered version of Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, and some of the new visuals apparently from Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, I'm not even sure, they just didn't spend the same amount of time as they had before. So I mean, clearly different visuals there. Clearly they just didn't spend the time on it. I guess I should have hit the face there without being able to kill this guy. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Someday I'll be just
That
like
didn't
you!
quite hit the mark.
Let's play this. Attack here. So yeah, that's a nightmare. Arkham Asylum was a game I was thinking about playing, but I'm not sure. I really want to get down that way. I'm not sure I really want to go down that path and support WB, particularly since WB is one of the worst content ID people for me, so I'm literally giving money to people who are stealing money from me. My system seems to work though. If you can figure out in your time zone the right time to
The gates are open.
appeal content IDs to them, or what It's not appeal. It's called something else. But whatever. If you do it at the right time, when they're not working, they don't seem like they bother. I also kind of wonder if there wasn't simply a matter of just, oh, how can I say it? The months that this was happening, they were specifically doing a lot of nasty stuff and pushing it really hard to try and force Google to giving them special consideration. I don't know. But also, if it's just, I was covering their games, and now I'm at the tail end where I'm not really going to cover WB games. Not because I'm boycotting them or anything, it's just, we've done it, and that's all we ever plan to do. Summon a Mastiff. Is that worth it? A 1/1 beast? And to do 1 damage for 1 mana? Yeah, that's worth it. I think that's fine. But I feel definitely a little lost right now as far as my decisions on what to cover. I guess I want to wrap up the Telltale series. So I've done Broken Age, so I think we'll try to do something completely different later. This guy would give me 3. Yeah, let's try this. Bam, bam, bam. I'm gonna lose still, but should I have gotten the giant sandworm out at some point?
Fine, I'll deal.
It's really probably not as good as I think it is.
Stand ready.
So like, this wouldn't save me. Have to do this. Have to do this. This won't save me. End the turn. Yeah, if a couple turns back I'd played that, that might have helped. I think I'm gonna have to stop recording and just play offline at the end of this recording session if I don't have them all done. I really got such little to talk about. And probably in 3 days time when the next 3 quests come along, I won't have much to talk about there either. I want to get back up to 10,000 gold coins and then
Throw versus
and then we could start doing arena runs. That might spice it up a little bit.
For Doomhammer.
I spent last night, oddly, like, I am probably not doing this, but it would excite me if I am. Like I've said on rare occasions, I used to be a big anime fan. So I got on Netflix just watching things, just...
Job done.
I've been kind of getting more into watching things. There's nothing on TV. Again, Memorial Day, it's just like, wow. There's literally nothing to do, and TV is pretty bad anyways. So I'm trying to get away from it completely and get to just Netflix. So I start watching this anime though called The 7 Deadly Sins, and it is just a, like, it's a Japanese kid show basically. And with that comes all the things of the anime where there's the main character is always trying to look up the skirt of the main female character, the main male characters, and all of that. So
Did you bring some fish?
if your parents or you're a parent and you have a problem with that, well then probably is never gonna be the thing. Anyways, so because those jokes go on and it's just not a big deal. I want to say full stop, but it's not a big deal to Japanese people. And so I'm watching this, but it's just a basic kids show. It's a fighting show. It's somewhat like DBZ, except for not anywhere slow or drawn out. But I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I am really, really old to be watching this. And that was part of the reason, certainly why I started to fall out of watching anime in the first place, is that I'm really old to be there's been a whole generation too, so like the animation style, the storytelling style, the music style, all of that has pretty drastically changed from what I used to watch. And so now I'm more of kind of I was a fan of something that isn't really made that much anymore. But I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna probably watch the rest of it and just like it's like that the name of that movie where Dr. Strangelove and how I learned how to stop worrying and love the bomb or something like that. It's like I need to just learn how to stop worrying and just love the anime if I love it. I'm liking it. It's not even that good of an anime. There's nothing super impactful there, but I'm gonna watch it, I guess. And since I have nothing else to talk about, I guess I'll say yeah. Here we go.
Elements I like, totems I love.
Tusk!
I guess I could have given a minion +1/+1 for each totem I have. Should have done that a while ago. If I was going to. So, I mean, it also is probably a great indication that I'm getting a little bored with TV and stuff. The danger here is I was so into anime back then that I really didn't play video games, and then I also was so into my job, so forced into doing my job for 5 years that I barely had any time to play video games. And if any of those things are true and they come back again, that there's just this wave in which I really don't want to play video games, that puts a big old stop sign on this channel. Now, I don't think I'd let that happen. This channel is still my only hope for any real career right now. I'm still very much needed by my disabled family member to be available at all times. Although at the moment they are doing better, and that's as much as I'll say about them, just to protect their privacy. But that means I have to do something from the house, and I couldn't imagine myself trying to review anime on YouTube. First of all, getting that video on YouTube and not getting it content ID'd is probably a nightmare. A lot of other people do it. A lot of other people do it better than me. My perspective is probably not that unique or well informed. I have some DVDs still on my shelf that I want to watch, so I could get into it and use it as a break time. I certainly could right now, since I have nothing to do while playing like Chip, which is a terrible name for a game, but anyways, while I'm playing that and trying to get that puzzle done, I could try to have anime going on in the background, but that doesn't really work because I only have one TV. I need to, if I'm going to do something like that, I need to be able to plug in a secondary monitor to my computer and have that going on while watching it, or a secondary TV that's only configured to watch movies. Here we go. Bloodlust. This. This. Victory. Good. Why are you gonna threaten when you just lost? You just surrendered. That makes no sense. So I need, I think, one more hunter and one more shaman victory, and then we can be done with this recording session. 2 videos. That's good because we're probably starting to get to the point where we're gonna balance out the Hearthstone recordings. I need to probably do something different. I could probably knock things down to 30 minutes. That might be doable.
Watch your
If instead of going 15
Let
minutes,
the hunt
we,
begin.
well, I mean, instead of going 45 minutes a recording, I went 30 minutes, then that would give me some play where I could do it. Maybe I could get it even down to 15-minute recording sessions, and that would be, and maybe that's something we'll start doing. I don't know. Just all kind of depends. Anything I do to Hearthstone though doesn't really help or hurt the rest of my channel, except for maybe if people were actually watching this series. I think it's much more important that I just be consistent on the rest of the videos. Get these games played. But yeah, what was I saying about games? Probably a lot about games. Yeah, I want to get back to Telltale, so now that I've done Broken Age, maybe I'll just do Bone. I've never played Bone. It's a point-and-click adventure game about a comic book, a French comic book, I believe, that I have no information about. So that would be a little interesting. I pretty much want to stay away from doing Monkey Island because I want to get the rest of the Monkey Island, and I would like to slowly start integrating that as the next big project of point-and-click adventures.
Funnel cake.
At some point, if the what was I gonna say? Man, I blank sometimes. I just blank. I had a weird dream last night about how I was just forgetting and losing things all over the place. And I really do fear at some point I'm gonna get like Alzheimer's, and that'll be the end of me. I'll just not be able to remember anything. But yeah, I get if the Steam sale comes out, I was gonna say, and I can get Day of the Tentacle, that would be great. In the Scum VM version of Day of the Tentacle, you couldn't play Maniac Mansion. In the new one, you can. So it would be insane. It would be totally insane to do that, but it would be an opportunity. It'd be insane to play a Maniac Mansion part because that's just a really old game. That would have to be some kind of crazy extra content where I had nothing else to do. And I don't even know how to win at Maniac Mansion. It would be a little difficult to figure out. Let's see. This. Attack. Face. But I certainly could play Day of the Tentacle, and that would be just one new game. Scum VM in itself is not, it's not integrated into Steam. It's you have to have the ISOs and the files and basically rip the files for all the games. most of the games that Scum VM can run these days have Steam equivalents. If maybe that's because some publisher used Scum VM to get them to run. So that's kind of the approach there. Maybe get Steam achievements, maybe get trading cards and all that. Speaking of which, I put all my trading cards and stuff on sale, and so that I can save up every few pennies when the summer sale comes out. Plus, I don't really see a reason to have all those backgrounds and such. They're silly. They're just straight up silly. So, yeah, the only trading cards I've kept are the ones that I might, you know, during the summer sale spend some coins on, some little pennies to buy, to complete badges, if that helps anything. I guess I want to commit to continuously having enough slots for people to friend me, but nobody has friended me on Steam. I think internally there's just a problem with them limiting the number of friends you can have. Even if I am at a high enough level where I can have 500 friends, I would be surprised if most other people can only have like 25, so it would be really difficult for people to make that choice. And then it's not like it really helps anything or does anything. Anyway, so yeah. No progress there, and not really surprised. No real progress anywhere. I honestly don't check Tumblr or Facebook or Google Plus that much at all. The only one I go to is Twitter, and that's because Twitter is my feed and my source to get as much information as I can. And I haven't even curated that good of a news feed for this about video games. But I don't follow anybody really on Facebook. If I'm following somebody on Facebook, it's probably because I entered a contest that wanted to follow them on Facebook. Here we go. Let's hope this works. If I can get 5 to the face and explosive trap, we've got it done. So if this one has to hit this one and this one. Or we can just continue down this path. So 9 could be this, and this can be this or this. This and this. Which is more important? Doing 2 now. Alright, that leaves me with 8. Explosive trap. Smash this guy. Do this. Kill this. Got it. Victory. Good, good, good. So now I just need a victory with the shaman, and we are done. Good. That lined up well. And see, if I had done 30-minute recordings here instead, doing 2 45 minutes and turning that into 3 30 minutes works. Fine. Yeah, it's shamans, all we need. But if I did 1 45-minute recording and tried to bring that down into a 30-minute recording, then my next recording I have to stall for 15 minutes just to keep it somewhat balanced. And it's very difficult still to figure all that out. Oh yeah, Overwatch porn is getting some DMCA's for the ones that were made
Thrall
using
versus
the
Gul'dan.
like internal
Soul
assets
shall
of
be
the
mine.
game.
For
Whereas
Doomhammer.
people who are doing like fan art that's erotic seem to not yet be getting takedowns and all that. And it's somewhat understandable that the company is trying to keep those things from showing up on Google, but that's really more of a Google issue and search engine issues. Like if you go to image search and you have safe search on, you shouldn't see any even non-official Overwatch images over the official Overwatch images, and that's kind of a Google image search thing that would be nice if they could improve upon that a little bit. But yeah, I kind of get what they're going for there. They just don't want kids running into it. In the end, the world is going to be still full of Overwatch porn. I think they brought it on themselves in a lot of ways because they made these Pixar as
Are you my
like
master?
great trailers for the game, and they made really good artistic characterizations of people of their characters, so their characters look good. Thus, that gives people inspiration to put their spin on it. If the characters looked awful, nobody would bother. No, very few people would bother. So, I think if anybody actually decided to fight those DMCA's, they should rightfully win them on the grounds of parody or transformative
Did you
art.
bring some fish?
When it gets into porn, they still have some BS arguments saying, does it have any artistic value to society at all? Which just is so open-ended that a judge could say, nope, I see no artistic value whatsoever
Put this apple
if he
on your
doesn't
head.
like it. I mean, which that should not be a standard at all. We should by default assume that any art has some artistic value to society. And as a government or as a company using copyright systems to bully a government into bullying people, we should just be hands off. Here.
Job's done.
Should have attacked first. Darn it. Oops. Restores 2 health to my hero every time. That'll be nice. There's really not a lot to say about that issue though. It's just like, it's gonna happen. It's always been happening, it always will happen. Even at the core of it, when like the first few Mickey Mouse cartoons were coming out, the animators themselves were putting elements like that into their animations.
Fine, I'll want.
Sneaking it in or drawing it and having a private collection of funny
Do you
things.
hear its call? Do I have to?
It's actually incredibly natural, and that's the worst part. It's a much bigger social issue. It's just like human beings naturally want to sexualize other characters. I wouldn't say human beings, but like humanoid forms,
Listen
at
closely.
least anything that's close to a human being. And fact that it's not celebrated like it used to be in the old Greek times, or one would assume it was more celebrated back then from the art that has survived, is kind of a shame. The, people have gotten so repressed, particularly in North America, for no reason. Much like I personally said, I think maybe in the last recording or maybe in this recording, I need to learn to relax and just enjoy the fact that I'm watching the 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix, which is a kid anime, mostly kid anime. Everybody else needs to learn to just relax too. Now, the only thing I don't need to relax on is recording. I need to get more recording done. It would be so much better to be a year ahead. It would be so much better. Particularly when I just have a slate of things that are a year ahead, and then turn around and then record new games and squeeze them in. Just bump something or take something out and just say, well, I'll put this in a list of things that have been uploaded to YouTube and were scheduled, and then I'll deschedule them and put them to private, and then I'll reschedule them later. Let's see. This,
Job's done.
and in the turn. I don't think I'm gonna win here. And I don't know if I really have time for another game. Probably don't. So this is probably where we're gonna end. That's fine. We got almost everything done. I can find something to watch on YouTube or something and get the rest done. And then I'm gonna move on to recording things. I am a little happy I've been able to bring up my production amount in the past few days instead of sticking to like 4 hours of recording. It felt like the past couple days I've done 6, 7, 8 hours of recording. Look here how Cthulhu isn't even that powered up. Like, he didn't even play well with Cthulhu. Yet he's gonna win.
Caress your fear.
Let's see. This. And then this.
Finally, a second chance.
And then we'll end the turn here in the recording. Sorry these episodes have not a ton to talk about. I was able to squeeze quite a lot, I think, of talk into this, considering there's like no new games still, and I've been saying that for probably a month now. It's just like, it's been true. It's very much been true that nothing new is happening. E3 is probably a week or two away still, and once that comes about, I hope there's new stuff. I hope it's not all VR stuff. I hope VR's come and gone. Maybe next time, in a couple more years, we can get that done. Anywho, we've got 3,000 dust here. Come on, disappear. Pop up so I can click the back button. Do I have any new cards or dust or anything? No. Still trying to save up for this. Tavern Brawl will be back in 1 day, so we'll at least be able to do that next recording. And I'll get one more Shame and Victory off screen. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.